Hi guys, welcome back to the Zebra Tribe. So, being that my hubby and I recently did our love story and our love story continued, in there I mentioned that I wanted to do a little, I was going to do some mini individual videos explaining some of the stories throughout. So today's video is going to be focused up on my reaction to finding out that I was pregnant as a teen. And like, mind you, I wasn't that, I don't know, I wasn't that much of a teen. I was 19. So I was going to talk a little bit about my reaction. And to me, like, the point of me doing some of these videos is just to share my experience. But not only that, I know that, you know, there are women who will experience what I've experienced at some point. And if this video can just, I don't know, can just like showcase that, you know, I've been there and others have been in their shoes or stuff like that, just to show that they're not alone, and perhaps can give them a little bit of hint that life can be okay too, after, you know, you can get through it. That's all I really want. I want to share my story, and I just want to be able to connect with my viewers. I can show you my vlog videos all I want, but at the same time I'm not getting to connect with you guys, and so I would love to on a deeper level, because I've actually aspired to do that. And so to my reaction when I was pregnant, I was, oh my gosh, I was so freaked out. The way I found out I was pregnant was we were eating pizza and I took a bite of like this garlic sauce, and then I craved that garlic sauce. In fact, I was eating that garlic sauce more than the pizza, and that told me something was wrong. And so Aaron and I went to the clinic. I didn't buy a pregnancy test. I went to the clinic and found out I was pregnant. And that was actually very, very scary and nerve-wracking. Now, we found out and I cried. I cried, and one of my first reaction to him was, you know, you don't have to stay. Like, that's okay. Like, I didn't want him to feel like he's trapped or anything like that, because that's just never my intention or never my plan. So it was just a reaction. Like, I was trying to like save him, even though I wanted to save myself. That was my reaction to him. And then you know, knowing him, like, he consoled me and he told me, like, are you crazy? Of course I'm, like, I was never planning on going anywhere, and why would I go anywhere now, and you know, and so forth. And so that was great. I had his support, and like we mentioned in the other video, this came around the time when I was anticipating my notice from school to indicate whether I was going to go on to college for nursing. And then because of my situation, I got accepted to go to 2 colleges that were afar. They're quite a bit, well, yeah, they're about 45 minutes away from where I was living at the time. And because I knew my situation, I chose to not accept that application, and instead I chose to remain in my hometown and put myself on a waiting list, which was like a year long, to get into that program. And I think I kind of knew that I wasn't obviously going to go into it, because I knew what was on its way, but at the same time I was just trying to still make a plan for my future. I found out I was expecting in July, and then Aaron went he went off to university in September, so he still continued to go through school while I think I had started a program, or started getting a few of my courses that I needed anyways. So I started taking a few of my courses until the waiting list cleared up. And that was really hard doing that through college, because I had really, really bad morning sickness. It was not fun at all. So I was doing that in the meantime, but yeah, I was enduring morning sickness. Every time I ate, I would feel it would come back up, and then 2 seconds later I was like, babes, let's stop right there, I need something to eat. And I remember him getting annoyed at one point, because it's like, we're wasting so much money. You're buying food and you're bringing it up, and then you're asking for more. And yeah, that was just kind of crazy. I didn't disclose that I was pregnant until I was like 4.5 months. I didn't tell my parents, and I didn't even come out flat and tell them. The funny thing is, like, my dad knows me. Like, I am such a daddy's girl, and oh my gosh, I love my dad, and I just never wanted to disappoint him. So that was like the toughest part. didn't tell him because I was just hiding it from myself. I told him, I didn't tell him because I didn't want to disappoint him. And yeah, that was really sad. So one day anyways, my dad called me aside and he just asked me, he's like, what's going on? Are you okay? And he's like, are you pregnant? And at that point, I couldn't hide it anymore. I broke down and I basically told him yes. And I cried, and you could see in his face he was disappointed, and I'm gonna tear up just telling you guys this. I don't want to cry on camera, but I was so disappointed. It's like 12 years later, and just my reaction. It's like 12 years later, and just my reaction of thinking of the look on his face. It was just so disappointing, but he was so sweet, and he was there for me. I'm gonna pause. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that. Now I'm back on with red eyes. But anyways, yeah, he was there for me, and I felt like I had like a huge relief. Like, I just felt like so much weight was lifted off of me, because up until that point, I clearly can't tell a story straight, because up until that point too, I also contemplating what I was going to do in my pregnancy. I wasn't sure, and I feel like I knew what I was going to do the entire time, but obviously to just try to escape from just everything that was taking place was so, like, because I was going through it. I was a teen. I'm thinking, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? What about my future? Like, so many questions are like going through my mind. And so at one point I even contemplated, like, abortion, and it was never something that I ever thought of it. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that I was committed to it in any way, shape, or form, but just the thought, like, just put yourself in my shoe or in any teenager's shoe, and just imagine the thought coming to mind. And it saddened me to even think that I contemplated that, or that wasn't even an option for me. And I'm not here to bash anyone who chooses that. That's your route, not mine. For me, I personally didn't see myself making that choice, but it was like an escape route in my mind. And so I remember even like just thinking like, what am I gonna do? And so at that point, when my dad was like there for me, it just made me feel so much better, because I didn't have to hide anymore. I felt like I still worked up until that point, and I would go to work in my little uniform, and luckily I had an apron, so my uniform fit me kind of baggy, and so my apron hung down, and I felt like it was shielding everything, but apparently my dad knew otherwise, or he just knows me and he could tell. But from that moment on, that was like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. And then, that was the moment where, like Aaron mentioned in the other videos, that he came and spoke with my parents. We all spoke about it, and yes, the parents were disappointed, because this, no one wants that for their kid at that age. But at the same time, the support was there, and it was really appreciated. It made life a little bit easier. So yeah, I basically worked up until the end of my pregnancy, and Aaron went to school. Now, my pregnancy situation on a whole was, it was just, yeah, it was different, and it was tough because of just my experiences. And I'm just going to do another video on that, because I don't want to make these videos too long and overbearing, but this one is just more focused upon my general reaction and how we told our parents. And for Aaron's parents, we just sat down and told him. And I actually remembered that his mom asked us at some point too if I was pregnant, and he said no. And that was just like the initial just fear in telling our parents, and just not wanting to disappoint them. So yeah, it was a really, really tough time. And as you can see, like, just talking about it, just like, oh my gosh, it just made me feel like I was in it all over again for that moment. You just don't want to disappoint your parents, and that's what I felt like we did. It's like we were letting them down, but clearly, life moved on, and the fact that they were supportive has gotten us so far. And stay tuned for the next part in this series where I talk to you guys about my pregnancy experience, because that's another story all on its own. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini, I don't know, snippet to finding out we were pregnant and how we shared our story with our parents. So stay tuned for the next video, guys, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and just comment down below. Let me know what you think of these videos, these type of videos. Are you interested in hearing these type of videos? I know, like, for us, like, it's been a while, but the story is fresh and the story is still there. It doesn't change, and it's a part, and it's our story anyway, so we are willing to share it with you guys. And just let me know what you think. And if any of you guys have gone through any of these situations or are currently going through them, share it with us, or feel free to comment down below and let me know. And thank you to all of our new subscribers, guys. We so appreciate it. And much love.